Maya floated in her special chair near the large window of the space station. The stars looked beautiful, but she felt empty inside. Her blue skin was pale today, and her long tentacle-like arms hung sadly at her sides. She was from the Nereid, people who lived in water worlds far from here. But Maya was different from other Nereids. Her lower body did not work like theirs did. The Nereid people were graceful swimmers. They moved through water and air like dancers. Their bodies were long and smooth, with tentacles that could grab things and move them around. Maya had the same upper body, but her lower tentacles were weak and could not move her around. She needed a special floating chair to get from place to place. Maya worked as a scientist on Starbase 7. This was a huge space station where many different alien races worked together with humans. She studied how different species lived and grew. She was very smart and loved her work. But there was something else she loved more. For 3 years, Maya had worked next to Zine. He was also a Nereid, but he was perfect. His tentacles were strong and blue-green like the deep ocean. When he moved, it looked like he was dancing in the water. Maya watched him every day and felt her heart beat faster. Zane was kind to Maya. He helped her reach things that were too high. He brought her special food from their home world. He talked to her about their research and listened to her ideas. Maya thought maybe he felt the same way about her that she felt about him. One day, Maya decided to tell Zine how she felt. She had been thinking about it for months. She practiced the words in her head many times. After work, when the lab was quiet, she asked Zane to stay and talk with her. "Zane," Maya said, her voice shaking a little, "I need to tell you something important." Zane turned to look at her. His big eyes were curious. "What is it, Maya?" Maya took a deep breath. "I have feelings for you. Strong feelings. I think about you all the time. I want to be more than just work partners. I want to be your mate." For a moment, Zane said nothing. His face changed from curious to surprised, then to something that looked like fear. "Maya," he said slowly, "you cannot be serious." I'm serious," Maya replied. "I know we work well together. We understand each other. I thought maybe you felt the same way." Zane moved away from her. His tentacles curled up tight, which meant he was upset. "Maya, you are a good scientist. You are smart. But you are asking for something that cannot happen." "Why not?" Maya asked. Her heart was starting to hurt. "Look at yourself," Zane said, his voice getting harder. "You are broken, Maya. Our people value strength and grace. You cannot swim properly. You cannot dance in the water like our ancestors did. You need machines to help you move around." Maya felt like someone had hit her in the chest. "But I am still me. I am still Nereid." "No." Zane shook his head. "The Nereid Council would never accept you as someone's mate. They would never let damaged offspring be born. It would be wrong for our species." "Damaged?" Maya whispered. "Yes," Zane said. "I am sorry, Maya, but that is what you are. You should focus on your work. That is all you can do. Stop dreaming about things that will never happen." Zane left the lab quickly. Maya sat alone in her chair, tears running down her blue cheeks. She had never felt so small and worthless in her life. For the next few days, Maya could barely work. Zane acted like their conversation never happened. He was polite but cold. He did not help her reach things anymore. He did not bring her food. He barely looked at her. Maya started to believe what Zane had said. Maybe she was broken. Maybe she was asking for too much. Maybe she should just accept that she would always be alone. But Maya was also angry. She was angry at Zane for being so cruel. She was angry at her people for thinking she was worthless. Most of all, she was angry at herself for believing she could be loved. To deal with her pain, Maya worked more hours. She stayed in the lab late every night. She started a new research project about humans. She had always found humans interesting. They were smaller and weaker than most alien species, but they seemed to do well anyway. Maya read about human history. She learned about humans who had problems like hers, but who still did amazing things. There were human scientists who could not walk, but who discovered new stars. There were human artists who could not see but who made beautiful music. There were human leaders who had many challenges, but who led their people to great victories. The more Maya read, the more confused she became. How could humans with problems be so successful? How could they find love and families and happiness? What made them different from her own people? One day, while Maya was working late in the lab, a human came to fix some broken equipment. His name was Jake. He was tall and had brown hair and kind eyes. Maya had seen him around the station before, but they had never really talked. Jake noticed Maya struggling to reach a high shelf where she kept her research materials. "Need some help?" Jake asked with a smile. "I can manage," Maya said quickly. She did not want another person to see her as helpless. "I am sure you can," Jake said. "But it might be easier if I just grab that for you. What do you need?" Something about the way Jake said it made Maya feel different. He was not offering help because he felt sorry for her. He was offering help the same way he might offer to help anyone who could not reach something high. "The blue container on the top shelf," Maya said quietly. Jake reached up and got it easily. "Here you go. This research looks really interesting. What are you studying?" Maya was surprised that he asked. Most people just helped her and left. "I am studying human adaptability. How humans succeed even when they face challenges." "That sounds, cool," Jake said. "Humans are pretty good at figuring things out when we have to." "Yes," Maya said. "That is what I am learning." Jake smiled again. "Well, if you ever want to talk to a real human about it, I am around. I work on making equipment that helps different species work together better." After Jake left, Maya felt something she had not felt in weeks. She felt curious and hopeful. Maybe there was more to learn about humans than just their history. Maybe there was something to learn from them about how to live with challenges. Maya decided to focus on her research with new energy. She would learn everything she could about these strange, adaptable humans. Maybe they could teach her something about being strong, even when others said she was broken. The next week, Maya saw Jake again in the station cafeteria. She was having trouble with her floating chair. It made strange noises and moved slowly. Other aliens stared at her as she struggled to get to an empty table. Maya felt embarrassed and wanted to hide. "Hey, Maya," Jake said, walking over with his food tray. "Mind if I sit with you?" Maya looked up, surprised. "You want to sit with me?" "Sure, why not?" Jake sat down and started eating. "How is your research going?" "It is going well," Maya said, "but I am having some problems with my chair today." Jake looked at her chair with interest, not with pity. "What kind of problems?" "It is old," Maya explained. "The station gave it to me when I first came here. It was made for a different species, so it does not work perfectly for Nereids." "That sounds frustrating," Jake said. "Have you asked for a new one?" Maya shook her head. "They said this is the only one they have. I should be grateful for what I have." Jake frowned. "That does not sound right. Everyone should have equipment that works properly for them." After lunch, Jake walked with Maya back to her lab. Her chair made more strange noises and stopped working twice. Jake had to help push her. "This is not safe," Jake said. "What if you were alone and it stopped working?" "I would find a way," Maya said quietly. "I always do." "I know you would," Jake said. "But you should not have to struggle like this every day." That evening, Jake came to Maya's lab with a toolbox. "I hope you do not mind," he said. "I wanted to take a look at your chair. Maybe I can fix some of the problems." Maya was suspicious. "Why do you want to help me?" "Because you are a brilliant scientist who should not have to worry about broken equipment," Jake said simply. "Also, I like solving puzzles, and this chair is definitely a puzzle." Jake spent 2 hours working on Maya's chair. He did not talk much while he worked, but Maya watched him carefully. He was focused and patient. When something did not work the first time, he tried a different way. He never got angry or gave up. "There," Jake said finally. Try it now. Maya moved her chair forward. It was quiet and smooth. She could turn easier and move faster than before. How did you do that? Maya asked. Just some basic repairs and adjustments, Jake said, packing up his tools. But I was thinking about something bigger. Would you be interested in helping me design a better chair for you? What do you mean? I mean a chair made specifically for Nereids, Jake explained. One that works with your body type and your needs. It could help you move around the station better, and maybe even work in different environments. Maya stared at him. You would do that? We would do it together, Jake said. You know what you need better than I do. I just know how to build things. Over the next few weeks, Jake and Maya worked together on the new chair design. Jake came to her lab every evening after his regular work was done. They talked about what Maya needed and what was possible to build. Maya learned that Jake was very smart about engineering and design. But more than that, he listened to her ideas and treated them seriously. When Maya said she needed to be able to work underwater sometimes, Jake did not say it was impossible. Instead, he asked questions about how deep and for how long. Most people think I am asking for too much, Maya told him one evening as they worked on blueprints. Why? Jake asked. You are just asking for equipment that lets you do your job. But I am disabled, Maya said. My people think disabled individuals should accept limitations. Jake stopped drawing and looked at her. That is ridiculous. Every person I know has limitations. I cannot breathe underwater like you can. I cannot lift heavy things like the corvin species can. I cannot see in the dark like the phalloids can. Does that make me disabled? Maya thought about this. I never considered it that way. Humans have a saying, Jake continued. We do not see disabilities as problems with people. We see them as problems with the world around people. If the world does not work for someone, we change the world. That is very different from how my people think, Maya said. How do your people think about it? Maya was quiet for a moment. They think if someone cannot do something, it is because they are broken. The person should change or accept that they cannot do it. That seems backward to me, Jake said. If someone cannot reach a high shelf, do you fix the person or do you build a step ladder? Maya laughed for the first time in weeks. You build a step ladder. Exactly. As they worked together more, Maya began to enjoy Jake's company. He was funny and kind. He told her stories about his family on Earth and asked her questions about her home world. But he never asked her about her disability in a pitying way. He asked practical questions about how things worked and what might work better. Maya also noticed that Jake was protective of her, but in a quiet way. When other aliens made rude comments about her chair or her condition, Jake would redirect the conversation. He never made a big scene, but he never let anyone treat Maya badly either. One day, Maya's colleague Zane saw her working with Jake in the lab. What is this human doing here? Zane asked coldly. Jake is helping me design new equipment, Maya replied. You are wasting his time and yours, Zane said. You should accept what you have been given. Actually, Jake said calmly, Maya is not wasting anyone's time. She is one of the smartest people on this station, and she deserves equipment that works properly. Zane looked angry. You do not understand our culture, human. Maybe not, Jake said. But I understand good science and good people. Maya is both. After Zane left, Maya felt something warm in her chest. No one had ever defended her like that before. Thank you, she said quietly. For what? For standing up for me. Jake smiled. Maya, you are worth standing up for. I hope someday you will see that. That night, Maya could not sleep. She kept thinking about what Jake had said. She thought about how he treated her like any other colleague. She thought about how he saw problems as things to solve, not as reasons to give up. For the first time since Zane's rejection, Maya began to think that maybe she was not broken after all. Maybe the world around her was what needed to change. 3 months later, Maya's new chair was finished. Jake had worked on it every evening and Maya had helped with the design. The chair was beautiful and worked perfectly for her Nereid body. It could move on land, float in water, and even work in zero-gravity areas of the station. "Try the underwater mode," Jake said excitedly as they tested it in the station's swimming area. Maya pressed a button and her chair sealed around her. She could move through the water faster and more gracefully than she ever had before. For the first time in her life, she felt like she was truly swimming. When she came back to the surface, Maya had tears in her eyes. "Jake, this is amazing. I feel like I am flying." Jake smiled widely. "You look happy." "I am happy," Maya said. "Happier than I have been in a long time." As the weeks passed, Maya and Jake spent more time together. They ate meals together, worked on new projects together, and talked for hours about science, life, and their dreams. Maya began to realize that her feelings for Jake were growing stronger every day, but their friendship was starting to cause problems. Other Nereid workers on the station began to whisper about Maya. They said she was spending too much time with humans and forgetting her own people. One day, Dr. Vera Kim, the Nereid cultural leader on the station, came to visit Maya in her lab. "Maya," Dr. Kim said in a serious voice, "we need to talk." "What about?" Maya asked, though she had a feeling she knew. "About your behavior with the human Jake," Dr. Kim said. "People are talking." "Jake is my friend and colleague," Maya replied. "We work well together." "It is more than work," Dr. Kim said. "You spend all your free time with him, you eat with him, you laugh with him. This is not appropriate." "Why not?" Maya asked. "Because you are Nereid," Dr. Kim said firmly. "You have responsibilities to your people and your culture. Getting too close to humans will only lead to trouble." "What kind of trouble?" Dr. Kim sat down across from Maya. "Maya, I know you have had difficulties finding acceptance among our people because of your condition. But running to humans is not the answer." "I am not running to anyone," Maya said. "Jake is a good friend." "Is he only a friend?" Dr. Kim asked. "Be honest with me, Maya." Maya was quiet for a moment. She could not lie. "I care about him." "I thought so," Dr. Kim said sadly. "Maya, listen to me carefully. If you pursue a relationship with this human, you will be completely cut off from Nereid society. You will lose your citizenship. Your family will disown you. You will never be able to return home." Maya felt cold. "Even if I love him?" "Especially if you love him," Dr. Kim said. "Interspecies relationships are forbidden by our laws. The Nereid Council has already been asking questions about your behavior." After Dr. Kim left, Maya sat alone in her lab feeling confused and scared. She loved Jake, but she did not want to lose her family and her people forever. That evening, Jake came to the lab as usual, but Maya was quiet and distant. "Is everything okay?" Jake asked. "You seem upset." "Dr. Kim came to see me today," Maya said. "What did she want?" "She warned me about spending time with you," Maya said. "She said if we become more than friends, I will be exiled from my people." Jake was quiet for a long moment. "And what do you want to do?" "I do not know," Maya said honestly. "I care about you, Jake, more than I should, but I am scared of losing everything." "I understand," Jake said gently. "I care about you too, Maya, more than I probably should." Before they could talk more, emergency alarms began ringing throughout the station. A voice came over the speakers. "All personnel report to emergency stations. We have a critical system failure in the lower levels." Jake and Maya rushed to the command center. The station commander was giving orders to teams of workers. "What happened?" Jake asked. "Coolant pipes burst in the underwater sections," the commander explained. "The area is completely flooded and our life support systems are failing. We have 30 people trapped down there." "Can we drain the water?" someone asked. "No," the commander said. "The pumps are damaged. We need someone who can work underwater to fix them from the inside." Everyone looked around. Most species on the station could not work underwater for long periods. "I can do it," Maya said quietly. Everyone turned to look at her. Some people looked doubtful, Maya, the commander said carefully, this is very dangerous work. The water pressure is high and you would be working alone. I am the only one here who can breathe underwater and work with complex machinery, Maya said. My new chair is designed for underwater work. She is right, Jake said. And I can modify some tools to work better underwater. Maya is our best chance to save those people. The commander nodded. All right, but I want safety teams standing by. For the next 6 hours, Maya worked underwater in the damaged sections of the station. The water was dark and cold, and the broken pipes made it dangerous to move around. But Maya's new chair worked perfectly, and her Nereid abilities allowed her to stay underwater as long as needed. Jake stayed in constant contact with her through the radio, giving her technical advice and encouraging her when things got difficult. He also modified tools in real time to help her work more effectively. One by one, Maya fixed the broken systems. She rerouted power lines, repaired pumps, and sealed damaged pipes. It was the hardest work she had ever done, but she kept going, because people's lives depended on her. Finally, after many hours, the water levels began to drop. The trapped people were rescued safely. Maya had saved them all. When Maya returned to the surface, the entire station crew was waiting for her. They cheered and clapped as she came out of the water. People who had ignored her before now looked at her with respect and admiration. You are a hero, Jake said, helping her out of her chair. We did it together, Maya replied. I could not have done it without your help. That night, as they sat together looking out at the stars, Maya realized something important. Jake had never doubted that she could save those people. He had not seen her disability as a limitation. He had seen her unique abilities as exactly what was needed. Jake, Maya said softly. Yes? I think I am falling in love with you. Jake turned to look at her, his eyes gentle and warm. I think I am falling in love with you too, Maya. They held hands as they watched the stars, both knowing that their love would face many challenges but feeling stronger together than either had ever felt alone. The next morning, news of Maya's heroic rescue had spread throughout the station. People who had never spoken to her before came to thank her personally. The station commander gave her a medal for bravery. Even some of the Nereid workers who had whispered about her before now looked at her with respect. But Dr. Kim was not happy. She came to Maya's lab looking very serious. Maya, Dr. Kim said, the Nereid Council has made a decision about you. Maya felt her heart beating fast. What decision? They know about your relationship with the human Jake. They know you have been ignoring Nereid customs and traditions. They are giving you one last chance. What kind of chance? You must choose, Dr. Kim said. End your relationship with Jake and return to proper Nereid behavior, or face formal exile from our people forever. Maya was quiet for a long moment. How long do I have to decide? 3 days, Dr. Kim said. After that, the decision will be made for you. That evening, Maya told Jake about the council's ultimatum. They sat together in her lab, both feeling sad and worried. What are you going to do? Jake asked. I do not know, Maya said. If I choose you, I will lose my family, my citizenship, everything I have ever known. And if you choose them, you will lose us, Jake said quietly. Yes. Jake took her hands in his. Maya, I love you. I want to be with you. But I do not want you to give up everything for me. That is too much to ask. What if I want to give it up? Maya asked. Do you? Maya thought about her life on her homeworld. She thought about her family, who had always treated her like a burden. She thought about the Nereid society that saw her as broken and worthless. Then she thought about Jake, who saw her as brilliant and capable. She thought about the humans and other species on the station who had accepted her as she was. Jake, Maya said, where do you think home really is? What do you mean? Is home a place where you were born? Or is home where you are loved and accepted? Jake smiled. I think home is where you are loved and accepted. Then my home is here, Maya said, with you and the people who see me for who I really am. The next day, Maya made her decision. She called Dr. Kim and requested a formal meeting with the Nereid Council through video communication. When the council appeared on the screen, Maya saw the stern faces of the Nereid leaders from her home world. In the center sat Elder Zahn, the most powerful leader of their people, Maya of the Deep Waters. Elder Zahn said in the formal ceremonial voice, "You have been called before this council to answer for your actions." "I am ready to answer," Maya said calmly. "You have formed an inappropriate relationship with a human," Elder Zahn continued. "You have abandoned Nereid customs and traditions. You have brought shame to your family and your people." Maya's family appeared on another screen. Her parents and siblings looked sad and angry. Her mother was crying. "Maya," her mother said, "please come home. End this foolishness and return to us." Maya felt tears in her eyes, but her voice was steady. "Mother, I love you. I love all of you. But I cannot return to a place where I am seen as broken and worthless." "You are not worthless," her father said. "You are our daughter." "But you have never accepted me as I am," Maya replied. "You have always seen my disability as something shameful. You have never celebrated my achievements or supported my dreams." Elder Zahn spoke again. "Maya of the Deep Waters, do you choose to end your relationship with the human and return to proper Nereid behavior?" Maya looked around the room. Jake stood behind her, along with many of her colleagues from the station. Dr. Peterson, the human station commander, was there. So was Crix, the phalloid engineer who had become her friend. Even Tor, the big Corvin who worked in maintenance, had come to support her. These people had become her real family. They accepted her, supported her, and loved her exactly as she was. "No," Maya said clearly. "I do not choose to end my relationship with Jake. I choose love over fear. I choose acceptance over tradition. I choose the family that sees me as I truly am." Elder Zahn's expression grew hard. "Then you are no longer Nereid. You are no longer our daughter. You are exiled from our people forever." The formal ceremony was painful. Maya had to renounce her Nereid citizenship officially. Her family participated in the ritual that removed her from their records. She was no longer allowed to call herself by her family name or claim any connection to her birth world. When it was over, Maya felt empty and sad, but she also felt free. Jake came to her immediately. "Are you all right?" "I think so," Maya said. "It hurts, but I know I made the right choice." Dr. Peterson stepped forward. "Maya, I want you to know that you will always have a place here. This station is your home now." Over the next few weeks, something wonderful happened. The diverse crew of the station came together to support Maya. They planned a special ceremony to welcome her as a full member of their community. They called it an adoption ceremony, where she would officially become part of their chosen family. The ceremony was beautiful. Representatives from a dozen different species participated. They each spoke about what Maya meant to their community. They talked about her bravery, her intelligence, and her kindness. Jake had prepared something special for the ceremony. He had designed a new identification badge for Maya that showed her as a citizen of Starbase 7, with all the rights and protections that came with it. But the most special moment came when Jake got down on one knee in front of everyone. "Maya," he said, his voice shaking with emotion, "you gave up everything to be with me. Now I want to give you everything I have. Will you marry me?" Jake opened a small box that contained a ring, but this was not just any ring. It was designed specifically for Maya's Nereid physiology. It would work underwater and in space. It was made from metals from both Earth and Maya's homeworld. "Yes," Maya said, tears of joy running down her cheeks. "Yes, I will marry you." The wedding happened 1 month later. It was the first interspecies wedding ever held on Starbase 7. People came from all over the station to celebrate. Even some species that usually did not get along came together for Maya and Jake. During the ceremony, Maya thought about her journey. She had started as someone who believed she was broken and worthless. Through Jake's love and the acceptance of her chosen family, she had discovered that she was actually strong, capable, and worthy of love. As Jake put the ring on her finger, Maya saw a message notification on her personal communicator. It was from Zayn, the Nereid who had rejected her months ago. The message said, "Maya, I heard about your exile and your wedding. I want you to know that I was wrong about you. You were never broken. You are the strongest person I know. I hope you find happiness with your human." Maya smiled and deleted the message without responding. She did not need Zayn's approval anymore. She had found something better than acceptance from people who did not value her. She had found love from someone who saw her truly. After the wedding, Maya and Jake were assigned to lead a new research expedition. They would travel to unexplored worlds and study how different species could work together. Maya's expertise in adaptation and Jake's engineering skills made them the perfect team. On their first mission together, as they stood on the bridge of their new ship looking at an unknown planet, Jake took Maya's hand. "Any regrets?" he asked. Maya thought about everything she had given up and everything she had gained. She had lost her birth family, but she had found her true family. She had lost her old identity, but she had found her real self. "No regrets," Maya said. "I am exactly where I belong." As their ship moved toward the new world, Maya reflected on what she had learned. Love was not about finding someone who fit into your old life. Love was about finding someone who helped you build a new life that was better than anything you had imagined before. She had also learned that strength did not come from being perfect. Strength came from being accepted for who you were and supported in becoming who you wanted to be. Maya squeezed Jake's hand as they prepared to explore new worlds together. She had found her home, not in a place, but in the love and acceptance of someone who saw her not as broken, but as whole, valuable, and worthy of everything good in the universe.